Hello, if you're wondering where I am, it's Markiplier's basement.
Was that the bite of 87?
I've been hearing that a lot. So while I'm kidnapped for making a mention of my favourite childhood YouTuber for every single video for the last 3 months, here's the Grebbz Season 1 Marathon. I skipped the first video because, let's be real, no one cares about a chilled video in 2024. And the only reason I made it was because I accidentally deleted the video that was meant to come out that time.
It's disgusting. What is that? What am I looking at?
Also, I've got a new avatar again. I promise this is going to be the last one. I had an art style change and I deleted the stills I was using before. If you don't mind me, I've got a saw. Shite. So, I want to review every FNAF fan game. Okay, maybe just the ones that interest me. So, what better way to start than the first FNAF fan game ever made? God, this game is beautiful. Before we enter this masterpiece, we're given a newspaper article. The storytelling that even Kojima would be jealous of. So, Mr. Kojima, what is the inspiration for your writing? Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria Massacre. Yeah! I love Freddy Fazbear! We need a person to shoot down all the Freddy Fazbear robots. We must have the past experience of killing the robots to apply for the job. This is a picture of the fuzzy bastard. Shoot him right in the eyes, then rip open his head, and chop off the robot head. Watch out for the yellow bear. He is so deadly that you don't really see him. The pay isn't referring to the bite of 87. It may seem very subtle. We have to shoot Freddy Fazbear. I know. How brave. Beginning the game, and we are met with a place filled with tanks, rusted cars, and floating fish. It must be Birmingham.
I just woke up in a fucking steaming mood, yeah? Because I live in a
Oh, and good lord, look at that frame rate. Opening a rusted door, and we're met with a horde of Freddy Fazbears. With the best gameplay ever, you click, and the gun fires. A mechanic that Half-Life would shamelessly steal 16 years prior. After the challenge of killing these things, we find a key, and we leave. Truly the game of all time. I don't know what this is. Why are you still watching? Go away. So, the year is 2014, and Normie is binging her favourite screaming YouTuber.
Was that the bite of 87? What?
And then she sees a thumbnail of a scary Mickey Mouse. She hovers over the video, ready to be braced for the scariest game of all time.
What the fuck?
And the game is shit. Five Nights at Treasure Island by amateur dev Anna 996. Commonly considered as the first FNAF fan game, if you ignore the masterpiece that is Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria Massacre and Floating Fish. Must be Birmingham.
I just woke up in a fucking steaming mood, yeah? Because I live in a
Which I also made a 2-minute semi-shit post up. Shameless plug. Treasure Island, while technically not being the first FNAF fan game, it's definitely the first to blow up in popularity. Combining the gameplay of FNAF with the setting and creepypasta from Abandoned by Disney, which is enough for FNAF fans and YouTubers to eat up.
Oh my god! What the fuck is that? What the fuck was that?
Allowing for millions of copycats to take the idea of FNAF and make Five Nights at insert popular product here, having random YouTubers play it with millions of views, in hopes of seeing the same success as Big Bad Scully C. And it's these early days that interest me. Not just with Treasure Island. How a child could combine Five Nights at Freddy's with Chuck E. Cheese, Sonic the Hedgehog, or Mario, all of which are real, also reminding me of this one clip from PewDiePie, which has aged absolutely horribly.
Don't try to replicate the tension and the way the story is done, because really, we don't need another Five Nights at Freddy's. They come out every 3 months, I mean...
Enough rambling aside, I just want to see the mouse.
Want to see my head come off?
No thanks, it's okay, I didn't like having ears. Begin the game and I have my first big criticism. Maybe I'm just an asshole, but the style of this game is very hard to look at times. I'm also gonna do a speedrun of some of my issues playing the demo. My camera would either not want to go up or go down when I wanted, or have a panic attack and keep going up in my face, which is very fun for when there's an active threat in your office. Jump scares clip into things.
It's free real estate.
There isn't even an option to skip phone calls.
Hey buddy, it's Greg here. Hey buddy, it's Greg here. Hey buddy, it's Greg here. Hey buddy, Greg here.
Oh, and last but not least, I just randomly die. No! Take this for example. I see Mickey Mouse in my office. I deal with him. And I die anyway. This is what caused me to give up beating the demo, and by the way, gameplay! So, this is photo negative Mickey.
Say, do you want to come inside my clubhouse? While I'm waiting for your fucking response, are you just not gonna say anything to me?
As well as Donald Duck, who showed up for like 5 frames. Due to Mickey being blind or not blind or just having dementia, he is countered by switching off cameras. And it fucking worked! I would complain that it's too simple and boring, but randomly switching off cameras was the only way I could beat Night 1.
Oh my god! Oh!
I thought very basic and kinda boring. Story! Right, Night 1, we're given a phone call by a guy called Greg. Basically works as your phone guy, explain the mechanics, etc, etc. But he's also just a prick.
Thing is though, you look like someone who doesn't care. You just want to let your time run out and get your credit.
Yeah, you're right, I don't care about evil Mickey Mouse trying to break my kneecaps. But apparently we're staying here while this incompetent ass monkeys are busy fucking around with the equipment.
I know you clumsy as fuck, for real.
Other phone wanker, Lisa.
Mom, I can't do it! Get out the way!
Explaining that costumes can see, but not very well. I don't know, I stopped caring the 3rd time I died to bullshit. Apparently there's also meant to be Oswald the Lucky Rabbit costume as well, but I never saw him. And that's Treasure Island. Beating the night, you're given a message by the developers, similar to beating the original FNAF demo. Finding Treasure Island is a pretty neat history piece in FNAF community. Obviously, having the overwhelming title as the first FNAF fan game, it gives us an enormous marker that still has people talk about it. I could also get into the development hell that Treasure Island would have after this, but I can't be asked. All you need to know is that there's multiple different versions, a sequel that isn't canon, and the 2020 finished version as well as the sequel, which I will cover in the year 2031 if I somehow keep up with this series. If I were to give one criticism of the majority of FNAF fan games, it would be that a majority keep the same atmosphere and story ideas of, well, bleh. This can either be somewhat interesting, even if a bit derivative, or it could be
All they ever wanted was to harm me. Not without consequences.
Society!
So what the fuck do you want? It's a fan game, you cynical prick.
rude. I don't know, but a way of adapting this format into something that's interesting is, well, parody. The Google definition of parody is the imitation of a style of a particular writer, artist, or genre with deliberate exaggeration for comic effect, which basically, smosh. Side note, looking up parody into YouTube, first result was a parody of Taylor Swift by a guy with obnoxious auto-tune. If this isn't 2013 enough for you, I don't know what is.
His name's Mickey.
Kill yourself.
While there were FNAF fan games that already took the idea of FNAF to make fun of the concept, such as Five Nights at... That's a swore. Also, the way I could find the date of when this game was released was by using Know Your Meme. Please, somebody feel free to insult me and use the worst as imaginary. Also subscribe while you're at it. Please. Anyway, although Five Nights at Frick Boys did take FNAF and at its 2014 weed and dankness or whatever,
inhale my dong enragement child.
It was missing something. Some sauce. Marnie's scrolling through cameras in hopes of something to happen. Which is where today's subject is on. Using the gameplay for FNAF, it's One Night at Flumpty's. You've seen the thumbnail and intro, and I'm also likely to name it something like the funniest fan game ever or whatever. Suck your dad.
Suck your dad? His name is fucking Mingy.
One Night at Flumpty's by developer John Chrome, creator of the Middle School Flash series, animations, and also
Blue passport.
One Night at Flumpty's does not take itself seriously in any way, shape, or form, and I'm all here for it. This game uses like a cartoony, silly art style, which is such a nice way of getting around having to render environments and stuff. Art good, make a brain happy. The office itself is very silly, with random shit like Winnie the Pooh, Mario, and Although, sadly the version I played removed the license stuff. Probably for legal issues, for the game being sold on consoles and phones and stuff. You will be missed, decapitated Dr. Mario. Oh shit! Sorry about that. That's the lore alarm when I spent too much time not talking about the lore. Okay, well, there isn't really much story in this game. I think what you expect, and the main protagonist is literally an egg.
Hi, I'm Flumpty Bumpty. I'm an egg. I'm immune to the plot, and I can transcend time and space. Also, I'm coming after you. You can figure out the rest. Have fun.
Hi, this is editing me. If I sound tired, it's because it's late at night, and I am. I didn't say my thoughts in the phone call, so I'm doing it now. It's funny. Okay, that's about it. Bye. What do you want me to talk about? Gameplay? Fine. The gameplay's FNAF 1. Okay, so that's over. Okay, bye and bada booey. Okay, so like, you have egg.
You will give me an egg!
Box.
What about Boxy Boo?
And the darkness.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
They go to your door and you shut them. You don't, you die. Fucking, oh my god. Foxy on the shitter. He occasionally runs up to you and asks why you haven't flushed the toilet.
Why does somebody not know how to flush the toilet after they've had a shit?
The thing which I don't know if it is or isn't a threat, it never really appeared in my office. Hi, editing me again. Yeah, so I was right, it doesn't kill you, but it counts down how long it is until the next threat kills you. I wish I wrote this down in the script, it would have linked way better. Okay, goodbye again, woo! You get Colossals crazy in the hole.
Not today, Pepper!
That sounds really bad out of context. Fuck it, it's staying in the script. He gets closer each time you open your camera. It's really not an issue, and you can easily beat the game using sound cues and occasionally checking on the Foxy clone. Unfortunately, this game is really easy. Like, I think I died twice when learning everything, and that's about it. Hey! What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm not expecting to be all the super hard modes, but this really could have been harder.
Yeah! Woo!
Oh, also, mode that spits on my point. Yeah, never mind, I beat it first try. Well, it was first try, what the fuck? And that's about it. Something I really like about this game is that it is only one night. Like, it's in the name of the game. So, you've already done a night of this game, you don't need another 4 of the same thing. And that's kind of what I appreciate about One Night of Flumpty's. The fact that it's able to take the piss of the idea of FNAF, whilst also being able to be fun and able to pull back and allow it to still be scary. I don't know, maybe I'm just a massive puss, but the jarring nature of how the characters look cutesy and derpy when in the cameras compared to, I don't know, this. And that's about it. Good game. If you want a quick half an hour fan game to kill time, then I cannot recommend it enough. One Night of Flumpty's. Mascot horror.
Can we stop saying balls, please?
Either you're 8 years old and you think it's the greatest thing since Skibbity Toilet and whatever else Jen offers into. Or you're like me and Guys from a Band is a punchline ruined your friends.
Jumbo Josh.
However, there are many mascot horror games that, though having a spotlight years and years ago, they've still been unfortunate enough to fall to the wayside for better or for worse.
I hate this!
Or, however, even some of the more well-known games in this genre at the time were still a laughingstock. However, totally scrolling through the Steam summer sale, I came across the Emily Wants to Play 2 Scary Pack. I had cash money in my eyes, knowing that I wanted to cover this franchise, as the only thing that I had to go in for this game's quality outside of just looking up is Emily Wants to Have an Addiction to Fentanyl good? Were fuzzy memories from my childhood watching a random YouTuber play it. Here's Markiplier. All I remember was that it was somewhat scary, and maybe a couple of mechanics, but really nothing else. So I bought the bundle for like £1. Yes, I am British. And after making a poll for if you guys wanted a review on this game or Outlast, an overwhelming 100% that Emily Wants to Play had me go for the first game. Yippee! Also, no, this video will not include the sequel. It'll have its own video someday, maybe. Anyway, Emily Wants to Play Fortnite.
The fuck you say to me, you little shit!
All I know about this game's development is that it's made by a bloke called Sean Hitchcock. All I can find is that he's easily scared of horror movies and would rather watch comedies. I am scraping the bottom of the barrel to inflate the intro, how could you tell? So, is Emily Wants to Poo an amazing hidden gem in the sea of forgotten mascot horror? Or is it something so offensive that it caused my granddad to die in the spot? Who knows? Well, I do, I played it. You don't. So grab your popcorn, your beverage of choice, and get comfy, because this is going to be something. If you watched the intro and heard me say mascot horror and have no idea what I just said, please click off the video now and enjoy your sweet life actually touching grass. However, if you are still curious, mascot horror is a game with the express purpose to create a main antagonist with a remarkable design. Started by the Funny Bear game, of course. You're never gonna leave me alone, are you?
Terrible job, Superstar.
Bear in mind. This was not a common term at the time. Mascot horror is a term that's only really come into fruition a couple of years ago. Anyway, Michael Dolls or whatever. If some enormous Emily Wants to Commit Arson fan is yelling at me that it isn't, Silent Hill 3 is counted. Therefore, so does Emily Wants to Plot Treason.
No thanks, bro.
Starting up the game and we're playing as a pizza delivery guy. And I know this because the guy you're playing screams this in the beginning.
Hello? pizza's here.
I'll ignore the fact that we busted into a random home that we're delivering to, instead of just leaving it on the floor like the average UPS delivery guy. We're just that dedicated to making sure our customers receive that delicious stuffed crust pizza. Damn it, now I really want a pizza. The door slams behind us, and without any residents in sight, all we can do is explore the house. The first thing you'll most likely notice are the dolls scattered around the residence. I'll explain them soon when it becomes relevant. All you need to know right now is that their names are Kiki, Mr. Tatters, and Jester. However, I renamed them Weird Girl, Clown, and Rip-Off Chucky.
I always come back.
To be honest, none of these designs are scary at all to me. She's a clown. He's just so chubby and happy, and he'd look like he'd hug me instead of kill me. Oh yeah, they're also murder dolls. Spoilers or whatever. Here I found more lore for the backstory of the game. Wow, this would be great if I actually gave a shit.
This is worthless.
Upon midnight, Emily wants to play with us. Oh my god, she said the name of the game in the video about the game. Anyway, each hour, those dolls that I mentioned prior come out and try to murder us or whatever. The first one is Weird Girl. Her mechanic requires the player to stare at her in order to not die. Anyway, if you've seen anything related to pop culture in the last decade, then you know this was taken exactly from the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who.
Dingle bongle dingle dangle, yickety doo, yickety da, ping pong, lippy tappy too-ta.
However, the developer Emily Wants to Piss was laughing to himself when writing the message on how to deal with these threats. As for almost all of them, it says the complete opposite for what to do. I did eventually figure this out, allowing for me to mess with the mechanic and cause Weird Girl to follow me through a hallway, circling her back and forth. That wasn't until I eventually got stuck on her and then died. However, as a mechanic, it was fine. As well as very easy to deal with. My only real deaths were learning about the whole lying thing, the death I mentioned prior, and Weird Girl spawning behind me for a Team Fortress 2 spy-style backstab. For 1 PM, the clown's now added. Aside from before, now tells us not to stay still, which means to stay still. Annoying, but at least this time I didn't die attempting to learn what it meant. The clown will now spawn with its laugh. This triggers us to stand completely still, with even the slight movement of the mouth killing us. If we successfully survive the attack, we'll let out a sad sigh as he was unable to give us a hug.
What the fuck was that?
This unironically had me dying of laughter the first time I heard it. I genuinely wish I recorded my reaction, as I was giggling to myself for a while after this. As a mechanic, it really doesn't change the strategy of the game at all. As well as this, I also want to mention my strategy, which made an already very easy game even easier. You want to stay in this living room the entirety of the game and just spin around like a TF2 sniper bot. 2 TF2 references in one video. Impressive. And then just wait for the laughter of each doll and deal with them appropriately. But who knows? Maybe the next character will change the strategy into something actually fun and engaging.
Foreshadowing is a literary device and
Knockoff Chucky is now added into the game. He'll spawn in a room and will chase you down. If you don't escape into another, you will die. Changes absolutely fucking nothing, as he will giggle and you can easily run into a straight line and then back into the living room. This game. I did die here, but that's because I nudged my mouse ever so slightly when the clown showed up. Gee, thanks game, I love this. Wish there was more reason to explore the house in these early hours. But sure, there's the final 2 levels, and I'll get to you. But there really is no reason to do so, as just standing around until the time runs out is almost encouraged, as it is the easiest option. Okay, hear me out. A way you could have the player move around the house is maybe just to have the player required to collect the tapes or notes scattered around. As sure, it does remove a lot of the unpredictability from having to survive for an extended period of time, but it also gives a reason for people to read the lore, as well as making it more distinct from Five Nights at Freddy's, which it obviously took inspiration from, okay, let's be real. But then again, who am I? I'm just a prick who makes garbage content about shit nobody cares about. 3 AM is literally the exact same, but maybe slightly harder. We'll just fast forward to the next hour. .4 AM has the player required to explore the house, and I'm still gonna bitch about it because it's me. We're given the only note on the whiteboard that isn't a lie, and so, obviously, I thought the game was still having me for a laugh, so I kept trying to turn the lights on, and I immediately got attacked with an annoyingly high-pitched scream. Side note, my dogs were in the room while this was playing, and they did not like the noise at all, because I took my headphones off so I could avoid going deaf. Shush. After figuring out what I was meant to do, I still had issues. You see, very early on, you come across a flashlight in this room, and I was still figuring out the controls, so I was unable to pick the flashlight up, because for some reason the button to pick up things is right click instead of left. So, my brain dead ass left it there thinking it was just a prop in the environment. This meant that during the level, I was bashing my face in the walls of this nightmare house for a solid 10-ish minutes before eventually figuring this out and had to restart the entire game in order to make this dog shit level possible.
No. Wait. Wait.
The level itself is fine. Emily will hide around the house and you have to find her within like 70 seconds. Here's a pro gamer tip. Find her and right before the timer goes below like 10 seconds and then reset her, as you can lower the amount of times you need to find her before the time runs out. I truly am the only wants to punch you player of all time.
Can't believe you've done this.
5 a.m. Oh, 5 a.m. So I've been bodying this entire game so far, saying it's easy as hell, and I've been using strategies in order to put the least amount of effort playing the actual game. Well, this is the complete opposite, as it was so unbelievably hard that it caused me to give up, delete the game from my hard drive, and look up a Let's Play that actually beat the game. This level combines the mechanics of the previous hour, as well as the gameplay from 4, into an unfair, painful concoction that made me want to give my monitor a beautiful modern art piece of broken glass. Here we still have to find Emily, however, now the dolls from before are added. This was just frustrating. I would die from being body blocked, Town would stop me multiple times, digging into the limited time I had. And Chester was just a bitch, because I had to run away from him in a cramped environment, and it's just really not fun. Unrelated, but just imagine Mr. X in Resident Evil 2, but instead of him being slow, he full-on sprinted at you in the cramped RPD. As well as just killing you instantly. Yeah, it was that annoying. I was at the point where I just stopped caring. Call me garbage, or that I have a skill issue or whatever, but it was the final level, and I spent like an hour on this. The only thing I technically missed was the ending, and I found that shit on YouTube. Markiplier, you saved my sanity, you lovely, lovely man. The end just says the pizza guy escaped but had trauma. Before I leave here, I don't want to come off as an insensitive prick who shits on people's hard work, although let's face facts, I 100% am. However, from what I saw of the lore, it seemed interesting, with my theory that Emily was abused and so maybe did some evil Satanist shenanigans with the dolls. But again, I am not MatPat, and I did not find too many laws cry about it or whatever. I like the main menu, the dolls coming in and out is pretty cool, as well as the music, it's pretty good. The idea of a haunted house survival game with colored dolls is a really cool concept. Just squandered by poor execution. But who knows, maybe the sequel is better. We'll cover it someday. Overall, I would give Emily Wants a Pizza a solid keyboard smash out of 10. Right, so you just made a FNAF fan game, and people seem to enjoy it. What next? Well, you do a sequel. Duh. One Night at Flumpty's 2. It's One Night at Flumpty's, but there's Big Fat number 2 next for it this time. I recently made a video reviewing the first game, and my main criticism of One Night at Flumpty's was that it was much too similar to the first Five Nights at Freddy's. Despite this, I overall liked that I was able to poke fun at the series, as well as the cute art style it had. However, I recently played through the sequel, and it vastly improved the issues I had with the original. And not only was it better than One Night at Flumpty's, but better than the majority of official FNAF games. I'm not going to play the intro this time by explaining what parody is or the dev is an EDP wannabe. We're going to go straight into the game this time. While I don't find One Night at Flumpty's 2 the funniest thing ever, there was one moment that actually made me laugh out loud. This image. Is there something wrong with me? Like, do I have the humour of a 12-year-old? Why did this make me laugh? What is actually wrong with me? Moving on. Like before, the office has now been neutered due to copyright. However, this time all we've lost is a dissected piglet and Coca-Cola.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning.
However, we do have the Declaration of Independence. America! There's also a record player playing classical music in the office. And although it's not that funny and leans more towards the creepy side, in hard mode it plays the Toreador March. Hell yeah! When we begin the game, we're met with a slow-down, catchy tune for how to survive.
Welcome one and all the Flumpty Bumpies. If your lights turned off, then you're safe. If your lights are on, then they'll come find you and rip you a brand new face.
Now, most characters will enter by looking into your room and can cause an exposometer? Wrong with the exposometer. The characters will enter your room and cause an exposometer to fill up, and upon filling up, Now, something about the meter I know will cause my death adds so much stress onto my playthrough. But how do you avoid the meter filling up? Or is that big switch in the middle of your room? Is the overabundance of putting random shit in the video a way to overcompensate for a lack of personality? To the latter. And for the first two, once a spooky goes and check on you, clicking the switch in front turns off the light, and this will obscure their view of you. The easiest way to find out when an enemy is nearing towards you is by running through every camera and seeing if one isn't there. However, the laptop we have has a very limited amount of power. Spending too long on it will cause it to turn off and require it to be rebooted, leaving you alone and defenseless. You can regenerate it using the power, just don't use it. Colossal's crazy returns.
Just stop! Just stop!
He's also dealt with by turning the light off, but this time he stays in his clown room. He sits there with a patienceometer, not related to the exposometer, as it's made by the rival company. But is that it? No, we also have Urinal Owl. He replaces the toilet beaver from the last game as our Foxy clone. However, this time, upon leaving it, it will enter either the left vent or the right vent. Closing one opens the other. Oh, there's also Notification Man. I believe the only people who have ever died to him are those kinds of people who make jump scare compilations of these kinds of games. I like these mechanics. They're really similar, but so memorable, even with Flumpty and Box, both of which have the exact same mechanic, but they have different ways of entering. Flumpty covers his eyes like peekaboo.
You will give me an egg!
Whereas Box cuts straight to the chase.
Wait, what about Boxy Boo?
While Flumpty's 1 takes a lot of influence from Freddy's 1, Flumpty's 2 only takes the core concept of Freddy's 2, this being an open environment surrounded by many threats, but I think it's better than FNAF 2. As with FNAF 2, almost every character apart from these two is just, I go into your office, you put on a mask. If not, or if it's him. And with Flumpty's 2, every character felt unique to me. Even if multiple have the same mechanic, they have completely different little details, which makes them feel like different threats to face. After beating the main night and having a brain aneurysm due to beating it first try, we're giving another hard mode. In the first game, the mode was so easy I beat it first try. Well, first try, what the fuck? But here, the mode was so very difficult, however fun, as I would learn better strategies, and I spent like an hour trying to beat it, which I did. There was another enemy who I didn't mention before. I'm mentioning him now as I believe he only showed up in this night alone. This enemy is called the Eyesore. He'll show up and fill the exposometer much faster than the others, meaning you want to keep an eye on him. Okay, here's my strategy on how I attempted this night. Check the camera with the bird and the camera with the clown. When the bird leaves, check the red vent. If there is, react. If it isn't, yippee, no effort. Watch the clown and react to him, and then react to the others. Or just go with my gut and switch off the camera. Have a nice cold pint and wait for all this to blow over. In conclusion, One Night at Flumpty's 2 far surpasses the original by being so different from the source material. However, One Night at Flumpty's was not only unique, but so fun with the gameplay and mechanics all working in tandem with one another. I don't expect to cover One Night at Flumpty's 3 anytime soon. I don't want to just cover FNAF fan games and mascot horror games on this channel. However, overall, give One Night at Flumpty's 2 8 eggs out of 10. Outlast.
Little pig.
It's spooky. With spooky men.
Ah! Good God!
Spooky noises. And an overabundance of spooky darkness. It's no wonder this game became popular, as many YouTubers used Outlast as a replacement for the popularity of Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
I'm just in this guy's crotch, so I don't know.
A horror game that got combat from its gameplay. How spooky. Now, Outlast is fine. I don't think the gameplay is good at all, as well as 90% of the sources of horror, both of which for reasons I'll explain. But the story is good, therefore the video will mostly be about the story. I want to be mostly positive for once. I'm really trying. Quick content warning, if any of the topics on the screen are upsetting or triggering to you, please feel free to click off. And spoilers. Lots of spoilers. Opening the game and selecting Nightmare difficulty because I'm a gamer. Given a page of exposition. This is just incredibly lazy. Fuck, I'm really trying to be positive. I actually do like this game. I just wish the game did something, anything diegetic to explain what we're told here. In the first cutscene, we drive and we hear a radio that adds nothing.
Buckingham Palace has announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
You could have easily added something that could give context to our character Miles. Just have a guy on the phone and he could be like, "Hey Miles, it's your big boss or whatever. Do you really want to go into this asylum? I heard it's dangerous. And it's not like you can fight or anything. Oh well, can't stop your ambition." Jesus Christ, I wrote this in like 2 minutes and it's fine. The second game explained our character way better. You're on the helicopter with your wife and she's like, "Here's the exposition for why we're in the game. Have a soup pie, have a soup pie." Sure, Outlast 2 also had a paragraph of exposition, and is shit, but at least they tried. Okay, rant over. We're Miles Upshaw, a journalist who is given a tip from a whistleblower of the company Murkoff, running the Mount Massive Asylum with rumours of room therapy going too deep, and something waiting for the doctors in the mountain. We will expose whatever secrets Mount Massive Asylum hides. After we look at the asylum, our guy Miles writes a note. Almost all the notes don't add very much. They're essentially just a way for the developers to add Capcom level 1-liners for asylum protagonists.
Where's everyone going?
Aurora Borealis!
Because their video game, the opening to the asylum isn't open, so we just go around and do some Celeste level parkour. Side note, in the courtyard you can just skip the entire game by jumping up a bush and into the void.
There we go. Big speed run. I got it. Yeehaw! Oh, no I didn't.
After climbing in through a window, the lights switch off, leaving us alone in the dark. My script then tells me to transition into this section about the night vision. I don't think I meant to read that. Because we're a journalist, we're equipped with a camera, allowing us to channel our inner Logan Paul.
I made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
Essentially, if we enter a room that's dark, which is likely to happen because the game is dark, we can enable night vision and are able to traverse through areas and see things. Is this a glorified flashlight? Yes, but it's unique, adding to this found footage vibe that the game goes for. Because the game needs consequences for using night vision, camera has a limited battery, going down whenever night vision is used. Batteries we filled by finding different batteries throughout Mount Massive, and to be honest, the only good bit of gameplay that Outlast has for me. After exploring the asylum, we find blood splattered all throughout this hallway, a break room with blood somehow on the ceiling, and a caged cooking meal ready on the counter.
Hi people, and I'm back cooking again, and today I'm making sausage.
Now, the setting of an asylum is perfect for a horror game, and to be honest, I really wish there was more medium set in an asylum. The only other setting of an asylum I've seen was American Horror Story Season 2, which is fine.
It's free real estate.
Please ignore my cardboard cutout of Evan Peters. I'm normal, but asylums are a classic horror setting, especially when you realise and adapt with how fucked up they used to be, and it makes me really glad that the new Outlast Trials reuse the setting of this game. I wish I could play it, but I have like 20p on my Steam account. I say ignoring the 20 games in my Steam account that I've either not finished or just not even played. Truly some white person problems, am I right? Once we leave the vent, we find a room covered in bodies, blood, severed heads, and...
Out of this terrible place.
Right, that's it. We're told to leave, and our guy Miles doesn't seem opposed to that idea. Go throughout our merry way until...
Little pig.
After whatever that was throws us out the window, a priest finds our body lying on the ground. Seeing our camera, we're given the title of his apostle before leaving us alone, now trapped in this mess we've gotten ourselves into. Despite my bitching, this intro perfectly sets up the tone for this game. So like some pretty shitty jump scares. Like seriously, you can see here that I didn't react at all. I just blankly stared. Overall, message from the whistleblower, the Murkoff guard telling us to leave, and this man grabbing us and hurling our body through a window like it's nothing, followed immediately by a priest spewing rambling to our ear.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Perfectly setting up intrigue, the tone of what's to come. With our only exit unlocked in the security room, we have our new goal. Get the fuck out. While on our way to collect a needed security badge, we stumble across a small group of patients. Their faces and bodies covered in scars and boils, staring at a TV screen filled with nothing but static, looking broken. Anywho, our attempt to escape fails because this priest says no.
Computer says no.
Surprise, motherfucker.
This big guy is new Chris Walker. He's the main threat we see in the game. YouTube thumbnail and cover art poster boy.
What the lore? The lore, guys, the lore!
Chris was originally a Mount Massive employee, working as a surveillance officer who's serving the military throughout the Afghanistan war. However, Walker snapped, killing 3 inmates, eventually getting found guilty and committed into Mount Massive Asylum himself, leading to Walker tearing his face as a way to resemble him like his childhood pet lizard.
It's so hard to be a lizard.
whatever caused the inmates to take over the asylum has caused him to be the hulking threat who everyone is afraid of.
I live in Smethwick, Birmingham. If you want the fucking brawl, come down Smethwick Hospitality.
And is our main threat to us, constantly finding us as a single enemy who finds us and chases us the most. No matter how long, no matter where, you can ensure that Walker will be somewhere in the shadows ready to hunt us. Once we're able to get the power on by pulling a couple of switches and getting stabbed by the residents of the basement, this priest stalks up behind us, injecting us with some kind of substance before grabbing us by the neck and forcing us to watch CCTV footage.
Our Lord, the Wall Rider, tearing his truth into the unbelievers. The only way out of this place is the truth. Accept the gospel, and all doors will open before you.
Now I have even more questions. What is dream therapy? How is it able to affect patients in this way? What is Wall Rider? And
Got scared, stopped playing. Before I played Outlast, I had a small penis, no girlfriend, depression, and no life. These things haven't changed, but the game is pretty good. This game reminds me of sneaking to the fridge at 3 AM to eat shredded cheese out of the bag while my dad roams the house. Best hospital in Romania. Penis men.
we will now wake up and find ourselves in the cell of the priest. All that we can do is to follow the blood. Now, unfortunately, there really isn't much going on in the main ward, unfortunately. Aside from the twins who stand there arguing how they wish to kill you.
His tongue and his liver, yours, mine. Yo, mama!
Also naked. A couple of run-ins with Chris and the inmates.
I'm getting really sick of you!
However, there were like 2 moments which caught my attention.
Don't trust them. They'll tell you it's science, but it's not. They were waiting for us in this place. Billy understood.
There's also a document about an inmate heavily implied to be the priest guy. Unsurprisingly, he's schizophrenic. I don't know if that's offensive or not. However, his higher calling, which we have seen, had increased due to a lack of an artistic method which the asylum disallowed. But to me, the real highlight was this gigantic holding cell. Something about the overwhelming noises of many inmates yelling and rattling the cell doors really put me on edge. Especially when I would just see them killing each other and trying to grab me, trying to grab hold of me to throw me to my death like that guy. Entering the sewers and the wall rider showed up. He stole my credit card and knocked me out so I could buy V-Bucks with my money. And then we wake up and find ourselves in a chase. The only way out being pointed out by a voice telling us to get into a dumbwaiter. I'm sure nothing bad could happen.
You made the right choice here, buddy.
During the blackout, we stumble across a letter written by our boy. Now, something tells me normal doctors already know biology. Something tells me doctors know people live without kidneys. Something tells me doctors don't cut your fingers off.
I am a surgeon! I am a surgeon! Dr. Hahn, I am a surgeon!
Similar to Chris Walker, Traeger also worked at Massacre, working as the head of the business development. However, after getting a female employee pregnant without consent, she spoke to the head, causing Traeger to be fired, making him furious, cursing and stabbing the woman with nearby scissors. One of the mitigation officers, who are the main characters of the Outlast webcomics, I think, grabs him and runs his head by a paper shredder, tearing almost all of his scalp. Traeger then got committed and was used for experiments. And in the actual events of the game, Traeger thinks he's a surgeon, killing the staff and making experiments on whoever he gets his hands on. So, you know, the perfect guy to be held captive with. Now in a wheelchair, sitting by the exit and mocking us with freedom.
You know, I love the mountain air up here at night. You want to head out and take a stroll? Go ahead, I'll wait here. Go on, run free.
Fuck you.
He then takes us to a surgery room, sitting us down, rambling in a conversation that's hard to follow. The only thing he can say that's any bit coherent is this.
You know, I'm a bit worried how much time you've been spending with Father Martin. I hope you haven't been letting him confuse you with all his holier-than-thou Bible thumping. No offense to the man, but I sometimes worry he might just be a little bit crazy.
Do you get it? It's because he's crazy. After rambling a bit, he cuts our fingies off before leaving and allowing us to escape through a quick-time event. Stumbling in the sink and puking our guts out due to literally just having our fucking fingers cut off. We immediately grab our camera. Merry way, not 1 minute from losing multiple fingers. We now have to find a new way out of this hellhole. Stumble across an ex-executive, now mutilated and lying atop a stretcher.
Do you honestly think you're fucking funny fucking with my friends?
Seriously.
Now, Traeger is on our ass while we attempt to escape this place via the elevator. Although this section is essentially the same as most areas before, it's easily the most memorable moment of this game to me. Traeger's crazy, no shit, but he clearly has way more intelligence than the others, able to actually hold normal sentences. Now, something about being chased by a character actively mocking me and enjoying being the cat in this cat and mouse situation is terrifying to me. It's the same reason why characters such as Jack Baker in RE7 terrifies me.
You're about to see some more.
And sticks in my head way more than a big guy who seems dumb. Making it to the elevator, Traeger runs in for one last attack, pushing him through the door, squishing him to death, and giving us one of, if not the best one-liner of all time. How to make Traeger juice. Step 1. Squeeze.
What the fuck?
Escaping the crazy doctor, we're met again by the priest. He seemed pretty pleased about our survival.
I feared that secular maniac would carve you up like the others.
Who you call secular maniac?
Now wanting us to be outside, but on our way the building is set ablaze. The culprit doing so because burning to death is the less painful than living with the pain that Murkoff has caused. Then we go outside with the spooky ghost running up to us and fucking off. I don't like the Wall Rider. The contrast of a game witnessing the horrors of mentally ill patients being experimented on and mutating without their will, to this. I'm well aware that Outlast is not the most realistic game in the world, but this threw all immersion out the window for me.
4 in the fucking morning!
But what is Wall Rider? Later. Seriously, just stop asking. You're ruining the flow. Exploring the female ward in search of the priest. Sadly, there aren't any crazy female characters on the same level of hotness as a certain DLC sexy man. I'm as disappointed as you are. Anyway, parkouring off the dilapidated ruins that resides in the interior, the floor collapses and the camera drops in the perfectly situated hole because plot. However, the game added a funny blue filter to the camera. I love the power of editing. We then have to traverse back to the area in search of it, as the game says we can't traverse without it. No, you can't die here. For some reason, the inmates here don't go for you until you pick up the camera. Also, here's me shitting myself to the only jump scare I found scary. And here's me pausing the game to probably cry or something, I don't remember. Making our way through to the priest some more. We get chased a bunch, found super important lore piece. I'm gonna go over when it's more relevant. I swear to God. Walking back through the main block once more, we see bloodstained ramblings like, God hates money, God hates sickness. Surprisingly, one of the more tame messages written by a Christian. The priest gives us the keys to the elevator, making sure the patients won't attack us. His only ask to us is to record his final sacrifice, which we oblige considering all he's done for us. Getting to the elevator, we're ready to leave and... Oh, you didn't think we'd be going out now? We still got another hour of playtime, bitch! Murkoff's history began with Rudolf Wernicke, achieving fame with Alan Turing and working on a mutagenic engine with the Nazis. Because every fucking villain in a video game is a Nazi, this would experiment on patients in order to control them, which would make up the Wall Rider. However, if a patient was not compatible with the machine, which was a majority of the patients, they would be left with boils and then dumped into Mount Massive Asylum. However, in 2009, the company Murkoff would come out of the ground, reopening Mount Massive Asylum after the death of Wernicke. But deep down below, the experience would continue. And that's where we are now. I do like the concept of Murkoff. It feels like an even more evil version of Umbrella from Resident Evil. And this is like the 6th time I've mentioned Resident Evil in this video. What do you think, mandatory Markiplier inclusion number 2? Also, if you noticed here that in my game, the time is now close to 0, like the hour and a half from before. And this is because the game crashed after I beat the game. So the only way I could exit was by turning my fucking computer off. So I lost all the footage of the final area and had to redo this entire section. I love my life. Exploring this new location, we come face to face with the Wall Rider. This time it chases us, ready to actually kill us. However, we're stopped by Chris. Don't ask how he's got here. Like, there's no way this big dumbass would know how to use an elevator. Anyway, the Wall Rider grabs hold of Chris, throwing him around in an admittedly pretty cool scene. How to make walk juice. Step 1. Squeeze. Walking back, we notice a door open and, oh cool, Oswald Spencer. 7th Resident Evil reference. Let's go. Anyway, Wernicke's not dead. He mentions how the current host of Wall Rider, Billy Hope, has killed off all of Murkoff except for Wernicke, as he believes him to be like a father to him. And then just explain the law to normal people who don't scavenge every document and read the wiki for a YouTube video like this idiot. However, Wernicke asks us to turn off the life support for Billy/Wall Rider. And because Miles has now become little errand boy, he complies, switching off switches during this really shitty final chase. After the final switch is pressed, Billy throws us to the ground repeatedly before crawling inside us. We get up, picking the camera, glad to see our priorities haven't changed, Miles, and crawl towards the exit. Finally, free.
You have become the host.
And now we've become the Wall Rider. I love the story of Outlast. It's a good experience, and although I've bashed it a lot, I really do recommend playing it. But I have a really big issue with the story, and it is the pacing. Outlast pacing is really bad. Such little happens that I've left out enormous fucking chunks just because of how little happens throughout so much of the game. Most of the time, you could just go from set piece to set piece, and developers shit themselves, so they're throwing a chase with Chris Walker, or have you collect X amount of MacGuffins, or pull this amount of things. It makes a lot of areas feel the exact same. However, there is something I've barely covered, which is now where this video will become much more negative. Because it's an Amnesia clone, Outlast has zero combat, with the only ways to escape death being running or hiding. I don't necessarily hate this. With a couple extra mechanics like Amnesia's sanity, this can be good. Outlast doesn't have a sanity mechanic, and when you're a masochist like myself, I played on nightmare difficulty where every enemy kills you in 1 or 2 hits.
Aren't you a slippery
So areas where you're completely blind just get incredibly annoying as you run around in the same dark corridors. Then again, I've always had a preference for traditional survival horror games like Resident Evil or Silent Hill, where you can fight back. Just look at the new Amnesia. It gives you a gun, and it's easily the scariest one as you have way more to consider now. But everything in the game being the exact same made it so extremely boring and repetitive. Like seriously, the gameplay is nothing without the camera. There is literally almost nothing to talk about. Actually, something I did just realize, the AI is dumb and easily breakable.
Where'd she go?
After my first playthrough, I decided to try Insane mode. This is identical to Nightmare mode, just still squishy and you only have 2 batteries max. However, if you die for real. I died not 30 minutes in. I really like the music of Outlast. It's completely orchestral, adding to this B-movie horror vibe. So, the story, good. The pacing, bad. Gameplay, shit. Music goes extremely hard. Now, why did I make this video? There's a certain somebody I want to talk about for season 2. Saying people hate school is an understatement. While I wasn't skiving and sitting back watching the Jeremy Kyle show, whilst simultaneously feeling better about myself, that show then got shut down for making someone kill himself. British television, ladies and gentlemen. However, when I was forced to drag my depressed ass back into school, I'd be on Cool Math Games all day. We all know the site, a flash game hub named to trick teachers into thinking you're just doing that little bit of extra work. But in reality, I was playing Duck Life. Duck Life was fucking awesome as a kid. Training a cute little duck so they can race with fun little mini games. It wasn't until someone snitched and told the teachers that Cool Math Games didn't have Cool Math Games. Whoever told this, I will find where you live, you piece of shit. At the very least, I could go home and play it on a very shitty laptop I had at the time. Because I was banned from the PlayStation because I was playing GTA 5 without permission. No, Dad, I'm not killing people. I'm just buying outfits. Do you know what he did as well? No reason why I'm adding this. I just find it cute talking about my childhood. And that's the point of this video. I want to sit back and reminisce about my favorite childhood Flash games. So I went on to Cool Math Games recently, and despite a couple of minor annoyances, such as having to play these games on a very small screen, as well as ads for serious readers. Seriously, the fuck is serious readers? No. However, I had a really good time. Looking back at my childhood now that I'm older, and overall just a cynical piece of shit. Oh, and I'll also only be covering Duck Life 1 to 4, because 1, I'm a lazy piece of work, 2, I only played these as a kid, and to be honest, it's mostly the former. Oh, and you may have also noticed, my avatar's new. I don't know, I like it more because I'm an insecure artist who hates all of my old work, including like most of my videos. Okay, let's get into the games before this intro gets any more panning. As a kid, Duck Life 1 was a perfect, short and sweet game that you played to get through a boring IT lesson, while everyone else was going on about internet safety or something. I would speedrun the game as fast as possible to get the most out of the hour I had for learning. Pathetic. I somehow got a distinction in IT, by the way. I'd also put a lot of emphasis on customizing the hell out of my duck, making it super snazzy and cute. That, and I'd make sure to train my duck immediately before racing any ducks. That way it crushes all of them in everything.
2 steps ahead. I am always 2 steps ahead.
Okay, at the time of writing, the Skinny Nikocado video was pretty recent. Just in case I get some comment yelling at me for using a dead meme. But honestly, this is my go-to Duck Life as a kid. So, does it hold up? Yeah, I guess. Duck Life 1 is pretty simple. You hatch your duck in hopes of it racing and making money. Actually, that's just pathetic. You can train your duck in running, swimming, and flying, each with their own little minigame. For running, we run across a path and click to jump over logs.
What is going on with my fucking mouse? Fuck you!
that's about it. Swimming's my favourite. You swim, but obstacles show up and you need to react either by swimming under or diving over. It's a perfect blend of not having so much that I get overwhelmed, but also not so little that I get bored. Good job. Something I can't say about the flying minigame. Your duck flies and it slowly loses speed. You can't control anything to stop this. It's just fucking boring. However, it is a good way for me to collect coins, because I love money. You can collect coins in the minigames, as well as by winning races, which allows you to buy things. The best thing to buy is food, so that you don't collapse on the floor like Sleepy Joe over here. I miss him.
Hey everyone, I'm Joe Biden's husband.
Oh, but Grebbz, I bought the food and now my duck has full energy. Now, random viewer who I just completely strawmanned, then you can go to the shop, making your yee-ass duck into something beautiful.
Man, fuck you.
Like purple white over here. And now, you've completed all training. You are 2 steps ahead. I refuse to stop. It's time to race. And that's Duck Life 1. I honestly really like Duck Life 1. And hey, it's 2 out of 3 minigames that I like, and the grinding overall isn't even that bad. Therefore, I'd say Duck Life 1 is like a 6 out of 10. It's good, but I wish it had a bit more meat on its bones. So, I'm not sure if this is a hot take, but as a kid I really did not like Duck Life 2. For one, it felt too much like Duck Life 1, as it kept almost all the same minigames as the first. Apart from the new climbing skill, it was just Duck Life 1 again.
Oh shit, here we go again.
But that's it. That's how little of Duck Life 2 I remember. So it was a great start going into it. However, I was being generous. Duck Life 2 is extremely similar to Duck Life 1. I'll give some positives first. For one, the game looks much nicer.
Oh my god! Wow!
And I really like the climbing minigame. You climb up a hill, moving left or right considering which way the hill goes. It's pretty much the swimming minigame again, except with the duck going up instead of forwards. But I like it. What I don't like is the level cap. If you want to get a skill to max level, then you have to pay 30 coins to increase it by 10. So we have to increase both the skill level and the amount of money we have so that we can increase the level cap and our energy. It just makes everything that much more tedious. So towards the end of my epic training montage, I just sat there dead inside IRL. At least the music for the training is pretty good. Anyway, meat. And hey, now at least I can play a cool racing montage, right?
Right?
No! No, I softlocked. Stupid piece of shit game. I hate everything. I'm gonna go cry and play TF2 as medic. You see, when training, I went just a little bit over the limit. So in this race, I go to the finish, but my energy just kept going down. So the game thought I was still racing, and so I lost. I did it again, the same outcome, and at that point I thought, fuck it, I'm going to the next one. Rest in peace, Scotland forever. Gone but not forgotten. Also, Duck Life 2 gets a 5 out of 10. It's pretty much Duck Life 1 again, but with a really annoying mechanic that makes it so much more grindy. So I've done my research. This is like one of the most loved Duck Life games. As a kid, I fucking hated Duck Life 3. For starters, I remember all the minigames being the exact same, there not being any new skills to increase. The ducks were ugly.
What the fuck is that?
And overall, the game was shit. Yes, I was dead wrong as a kid. Yet another thing to add to the list of things I was wrong about as a kid. Yeah, Duck Life 3 is pretty good, even if it is pretty odd. Let's go over the one and only point I was right about. The ducks are hideous, but because of Duck Life 3's new gimmick, this being that you choose an egg, which is genetically modified to fit a certain skill, and is shit in almost everything else. I picked swimming because of how much I love the swimming minigame, of course. But I think it wasn't even meant to sound snide. I think I just have an issue of always sounding sarcastic. Anyway, this led my duck to evolve into this abomination.
Please kill me.
But if I wanted this video to actually be in depth, I'd have played through all the potential ducks and told you which were best, which I didn't do. What do you think I have? Substance in my videos? Womp womp. Look at this idiot. Come laugh at the clown who thinks I'm a good YouTuber. The minigames change after each stage, with the first being the second game's levels with minor changes, such as the running having a bouncy ball, which is pretty good at catching you off guard, or the flying one letting you find purple coins which slow down the rate you slow down. Fucking actual gameplay! Although, for the first level, this song plays the entire time, even in training. Towards the end of the first level, it ended up giving me an actual migraine, as the same track played over and over again. So I don't know if the music changes because I was annoyed. Needless to say, I will not be playing any audio of this game after a certain point, unless I want my video to be sent to the Netherrealm. Insert Minecraft movie clip here.
I
I'm 2 steps ahead.
Now, one thing I was massively wrong about was all of the minigames were copied and pasted from the others. And I'm not just talking about minor changes. That's because as we continue through the game, our duck evolves and slowly becomes more and more ugly. Not only that, but the minigames also continue to evolve as well. Adding more obstacles like steps, which make obstacles harder to dodge, more obstacles in climbing, pillars in the swimming which are hard to go through, flying is now a lot faster and harder to dodge shit. Shut up, there's more. Running is honestly easier, we'll ignore that. Climbing has craters, flying has you go through things, and little pillars you have to go over and under, but swimming got overhauled in the final level. Making it more like Flappy Bird, just I think the obstacles have a bit too big a hitbox, but I'm just nitpicking. It's really cool that one of the training minigames got overhauled. Just buy this one, and not... I think you know what time it is again. God, this video is a mess. We finally reached the end, and I really like the final race. We finally race against the big bad, and click against little bads which can stop you. Finally adding a little bit of input in the races. And that's Duck Life 3, a pretty bizarre game for a series all about cute little racing ducks, but one I've come to respect right now, even if the ducks are my sleep paralysis demons. Overall, Duck Life 3 is like an 8 out of 10. The game is a huge upgrade from 2, changing the minigames and offering a pretty bizarre but unique way of differing it from the rest. Oh, and you also don't have to grind for a fucking level cap increase. Fucking stupid! Okay, so I've lied to all of you. My first Duck Life was Duck Life 4. Watching Jacksepticeye play it back in 2017. 2017 was 7 years ago. Time is slipping away. I'm not even an adult yet, and yet I'm already having an existential crisis. But anyway, watching him play that game made me want to play it myself.
Ooh, money! Fuck!
So I found the game on the App Store from my shitty iPad I had at the time,
I'm coming!
which only let me play through half the game before locking me out of progressing and begging for baby me to pay money, which got me into a Duck Life rabbit hole, and that's why we are where we are now. I'm not even gonna hide it, Duck Life 4 is my favourite in the series. One, there are so many quality of life features added. Like, the game is in actual full screen, so I no longer have to edit it to look good, and I didn't have eyes showing playing it. There's different music for each section, so I no longer get a migraine and resort to listening to James Marriott instead, then blush listening because I definitely don't have a crush on him. I'm sorry, I know I have issues, I'll go back to talking about Duck Life. Only the purple oranges are viable, so the user's oranges are no longer a thing. But that's not all. Customization is probably the best it's been so far. So my ducks, that's right, plural. Skinny Nick Ricardo, who I turned into Big Daddy from Bioshock, because I like Bioshock.
You're fucking...
As well as Ben Shapiro, because that's funny to me.
Turn, okay? If I listen to the media, of course I make the left turns because perpetuated beauty has a decision to make, but of course I'm an independent conservative thinker now, and I'll not be taking any radically sharp left turns anytime soon.
So there's multiple minigames in each category. So now if one minigame makes you yearn for death, then you can easily try out a different one and it will probably be better. Apart from jumping, which all of those are pretty arse.
Holy crap! Holy... Oh my god!
And ignoring the minigames that return, because this is going to go on for way too long. So the first one, you've got to run in this cavern place and go down before the camera kills your duck. Second one, you stay in this field and try to survive from the falling murder things. And the last one, you have to run and jump through rock things by pressing the number it tells you to or you die. So there's only one new one for swimming, and I have no idea how to explain it, so I just don't get it. First one, you follow this fucking Chad, and you fly to avoid death. The last one, you get shot of a cannon into a bullseye.
Nice car.
Perfect. You climb up a hill and hide in a cavern to avoid death by avalanche. And there's another one which copy and paste one from the running games. So there's a pretty okay one where you have to follow specific instructions given to do some pretty cool tricks. And for the last two, I forgot to record them, so I'll recreate them in MS Paint. There's one that's fun on paper where falling blocks fall down and we have to jump on top. Or the hitboxes were awful, so I died unfairly a lot. And there's one where you're on a pogo jumping over a hole, which plays like a really bad version of Happy Wheels.
And then we will all have a Merry Christmas. And then we will all go out and get tea and crumpets. And then we will all go fuck ourselves. Cause screw it!
Not even sure why I did that. I think that's what good reviewers do.
Anyway.
Anyway, after mastering all our skills, we face off against this big boy bird in an actually pretty cool platforming segment, which we 100% control. Overall, just a really neat bow on top of this already really good Flash game. You guys can check this game out if you want to get into Duck Life, and it's honestly the best in the series. My textbook example for this series. So yeah, 9 out of 10. A really good game, just a couple of mini games are a little ass. And that's Duck Life. I'm honestly surprised, and most of these games got better with each entry, apart from 2, but that's mainly because of the bug. But I'm sorry if this video is hugely different from my usual content. I promise the next video will be horror related. I just wanted to reminisce on childhood nostalgia. Yeah. Bye. Hello and welcome back to Hell. I'm very excited to review today's topic because I love the Slenderman movie, and not because the forces beyond me are forcing me to. We all know what Slenderman is, but because I want to get this video over 10 minutes, in 2009 creator Victor Surge made some spooky Photoshop pictures of a spooky man in some photos. This included stories of disappearance, naming this Slenderman. Very creative, Vic. Anyway, people ate this shit up. Slenderman got fan art, fan games, web series, and his own murder. Needless to say, this didn't paint Slenderman in the best of light, and hot take, but Slenderman creepypastas as a whole don't make normal people want to do horrible things, as people who do so are fucked up to begin with. This is in case some boomer who watches this thinks that I'm gonna kill someone because I think Slenderman looks cool. But you know what? Maybe this unfortunate timing is the only reason this movie got bad scores that it did. It's been a decade since this case happened, so maybe now time is healed and we can sit back and enjoy a well thought out product. Cut to prepare clip. Hello, today we're going to be trying something new. I'm watching the movie before I write the script. Ignore the red bar, that is a glitch. So, I'm going to sit down, watch the movie, and tell you guys if it's good. 1 hour later, I want to die. So, going into the movie, I originally planned for the video's format to go through the movie chronologically, and then explain my thoughts as things happen. It's similar to my other content, like the Emily Wants to Grill video. Don't go into that video and look into the comments, this joke is purely my own. And as well as my Outlast video, which you will watch when this video is over, or I'll cry. However, because of reasons I'll get into later, I will explain the entire story now, and then give reasons as to why this movie is a dumpster fire afterwards. Thank you, Java. Although I am still going to nitpick for comic effect. So, Chapter 1, Story Recap. Also skip to this time in case spoilers for the Slenderman movie is too much to handle. The movie begins with some stock horror music along with some establishing shots. No, none of these are any bit important apart from the school, which is used in 3 scenes. We are now introduced to our main protagonists. Katie, Chloe, this girl played by Joey Hill, and I'm just going to name her Joey Hill, and Hallie, her name's Hallie. The girls meet up after school and summon Slenderman. Ooh. They do this by watching a video Slenderman made while trying to copy the Ring Girl. Actually, watch these two side by side and spot the differences.
Hey, you know who lives in this house? A great big phony! That's right, a phony lives here! A big fat phony!
They then sit in silence, stunned by Slenderman's editing skills before going to bed.
No!
Nightmare sequence number 1, and I'll give some credit. When watching this, I had my phone brightness at the very highest because the living room is very brightly lit, and so I noticed Slendy in this frame. In the intended lighting, he's a little hard to notice. This is the only sole shot of Slenderman in the entire movie. During a school trip through a cemetery, don't ask, Katie looks at the woods and then goes missing. I wonder who's responsible for this. They then steal Katie's laptop.
Stop!
Which lets them stumble across a site full of Slenderman videos. With this one in particular that made me actually laugh. I'm letting it play in its full fucking glory. Why did they need to add a ring and zoom in on it? Like, you can see him normally. Why?
Having this happen would be really scary. It's a proven fact that generosity makes you a happier person. So if you're generous enough to hit the subscribe button and the...
Hallie then messages some girl who told Katie about Slenderman and tells her how to summon him. Spoilers, this turns out to be Joey King. They then go to summon Slenderman to get Katie back, where they have to offer things they love the most. All they have to do is keep the blindfolds on. This girl immediately takes off her blindfold.
What a fucking idiot.
And then when sitting at home, Slenderman breaks in and
Gaming.
Now from 40 minutes to about an hour and 10 minutes into the movie, barely anything story-related happens. Here's a few funny moments that I wrote down. There's a bit where Hallie is talking to a man about sex. And then Slenderman stares in the woods because he disapproves of teenage intercourse. And then we follow Joey Hill in the library, where after researching, oh my god, it's the original Victor Surge image, oh wow, I clap when I see it. He then chases her and steals her face, where she then Looney Tunes stumbles into bookshelves. But afterwards you get like almost an hour of nothing happening. Yay! I will get into the pacing when I'm ready, trust me, it's bad. So, Hallie's sister, who is a character I forgot to mention, then gets carried out screaming this. And then it turns out Joey Hill made Slenderman attack the sister girl, which afterwards follows Hallie running into woods and then letting him
Gaming.
her. And that's the plot of Slenderman.
For Best Picture.
You're impossible. Come on. Slenderman! It's not the worst thing ever, but it's not fucking good. Also, if you're a certain someone who skips to this point, hi. Okay, some positives of the story. I like the premise. Characters slowly losing their mind kind of reminds me of Candyman, which is a good movie. But I'm not too much of a fan of the internet aspect they took, and I really wish they painted Slenderman as more of a cryptid, kind of like something in the new Marley Grove series, which was made by the same guy who made Gemini Home Entertainment. If you get anything out of this video, watch that. But if you wanted to keep the internet aspect in another way, then make it found footage, like the Blair Witch Project, or but you've seen the runtime. My only criticisms aren't just a few nitpicks, and I am going to go through them section by section. Chapter 2. For a movie called Slenderman, where the fuck is Slenderman? The best way to show this point is that there was a video of just when Slenderman shows up in this film. The video is 3 minutes long.
3 minutes?
Throughout the rest of this movie, we are greeted with amazing scenes of our amazing characters, but Slenderman is barely relevant. You could have removed all 3 minutes of Slenderman and changed the name of the character to Chubby Woman.
And then, oh fuck, okay.
I'm really lazy and this is the funniest thing to say, I am so sorry. It's like if I want to watch Aliens, but no aliens show up as Ripley fucks about for more than half the movie. Actually, that's a really bad example, I am so sorry. My point is, for a movie about such a popular character, if the character is barely relevant, then that's a problem. Because then why the fuck should a Slenderman fan watch this, as there's no reason as to why someone would enjoy watching teenagers piss about with their family or get a boyfriend. However, I'm squeezing one positive of this film in this section because I have no idea where else to put it. The costume they made for Slenderman in this film is really well made and it looks really good. Ignore the CGI tentacles, they look really bad. But I'm happy they went with the costume, as a man in a suit beats movies made entirely of CGI any day of the week.
We're not gonna win this today.
Now, I like psychological horrors, with standout films like Candyman and The Shining. With The Shining in particular, we care about our characters. They're well written. Okay, mainly Jack.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier.
I won't get into it, but I can easily go on about The Shining for a while, and maybe I will in another video, who knows. The point of this rant is, if the characters of Slenderman are well written, then they can possibly fill the Slenderman-shaped hole that this movie has. Chapter 3. The character is about as well written as a Wattpad fanfic. I doubt this section is going to be that long, as I expected nothing amazing from the characters of Slenderman, but the film expected us to care about them, so I'll list some things that I remember about each of our poster girls. Hallie has a sister.
Hi, sisters!
And runs track. Do they show that last part at all? No, they just never tell you about it, because Show Don't Tell was never mentioned once in the writer's room.
Surprised you didn't bring one of your trophies or medals. You said it had to be something I cared about, so...
Joey King's character is emo, I think, because she has black nail paint. I have black nail paint.
No, Mom. I'm 13. I eat unhappy meals now.
Chloe exists, and Katie has an alcoholic dad and is depressed, and so she wanted Slenderman to take her away. And that's our cast. How memorable, am I right? Chapter 4. Dialogue. The dialogue is bad. Here's a montage of some of the worst lines said. Seriously, you're wanting an insight on the dialogue of Slenderman the movie.
So much cuter if you were wearing little shoes. It'd be cuter if he exploded. Twitter poll. If you could stay one age forever, what would it be? You? What about the age we are right now? I'd like to stay like this forever. You know how they have POV porn?
You should tell me what really happened to Katie. You don't know.
do you? She told me everything. He gets in your head like a virus.
Okay, so I said I wasn't going to add any input, but I just want to point out how funny I found it when they related the villain of their horror movie to a computer virus. Fuck, I forgot where I am. Oh, right. Chapter 5. Pacing. Slenderman's pacing is atrocious. In my Outlast video, I mentioned how that game's pacing was awful, as there was many moments of nothing significant happening. But at least something happened. The movie is split into two halves, the first half being when Katie goes missing and the girls look to see what happened. This includes a scene of Katie's dad going into Hallie's house. She's the main girl in case you forgot, and just yells at her.
No, don't, Hallie!
Where is my daughter? Where is she?
This is pointless to the plot, it just shows him getting arrested, only for him to be at his house for when the girls retrieve Katie's laptop. The scene is only here so the directors can sit back and go, hear that? Is that Slenderman? Are you scared? Just adding in the stock violin make our movies scary? Okay, they actually didn't use that. Kill yourself. But I think that annoys the fuck out of me is how every single action that the characters make has to have a scene before to set it up, where they argue and repeat the entire plot of the story of the movie so far. Like, the exact next scene where it's, hey, I think the video's affecting us. I don't think it is. Yeah, you do. Anyway, we should go find Katie's laptop. No. Yes. Hey guys, I'm also in the movie. Establishing a shot. And when almost every second scene is repeated again for nearly an hour and a half, including credits, it gets fucking annoying very fucking fast. But you know what? The first half is nowhere near as bad as the second half for pacing. Now, if I said at this point Slenderman is actually a relevant part of the story, you'd think that the movie would actually pick up and more things would happen. Just play back the thing I said 5 minutes into the video. Now, from 40 minutes to about an hour and 10 minutes into the movie, barely anything story related happens. This is worse because the writers can't kill any more of the characters because we only have Hallie and Joey left. So, Slenderman shows up, slightly inconveniences them by making them hallucinate and then leaves. We have this masterpiece in cinematic scenes, which really explains how little happens in this film. Hallie's about to have sex with this jock guy. I won't bother looking him up. You'll remember his name because I'm mentioning him once after this. But they're getting frisky and then his head jeers like that one scene in Venom and then he's like, I'm gonna watch the video. No, don't watch the video. But I wanna. No. Okay, I won't. And it adds nothing to the story. Just have him watch the fucking video. I don't give a shit about his safety. And hell, it'll add another kill cam and a reason for Slenderman to show up for more than 3 minutes. And then we follow with a scene of Jock Guy acting a little bit shady and then cut to them cutting an eye. It might make you think, oh fuck, did he watch the video? And to that again, he didn't. But this is just a tip of the padding iceberg because there is a scene of a nightmare sequence which is like, oh no, jump scare with no payoff. That's fine, I was praying for a little bit of Slenderman action, but now we'll finally go into a final moment where they stop Slenderman in a tense... Shut up, fucker. Second nightmare sequence, not 2 seconds later. And now the sister is dying. Could something happen? Third nightmare sequence. And then the final showdown happens with Hallie and Joey King with some corny dialogue and then Joey King dies. But do you see my issue? Nothing of substance happens in this fucking movie. And I'd like to think I have a decent attention span, like I can go about my day with not attached to brain rot. But this was a struggle, man. As it was not an hour and a half of Slenderman. It was an hour of dialogue about the plot, repeated several times with half an hour story added on. Remember how I said I'd mention the Jock character again? Well, there's a scene building up to how they'll do the Slenderman 3 AM J Station challenge.
Can Kermit the Frog drink the gay potion?
I'm a fag nigga, fuck me in a Tesla. Nigga rubbing on my thighs with some ketchup.
But only for them to back out because they're pussies. But what if they didn't? And instead they joined the girls by being tormented by Slenderman. And so, by this point, you could have added more scenes and innovated deaths to give Slenderman a purpose in the movie called Slenderman. And after I finished the script, I looked up other reviews to help me make the thumbnail, and there's a scene where the guy did die. It's corny as hell, and the people who made the video added the Slenderman song. Something different, I guess. But the scene got cut. It wouldn't have fixed the film, but why remove this scene and not any of these? Here's a segue. Please kill me. Adding more deaths could have made this a dumb fun slasher, which at the very least could have been something interesting and not a boring half-baked mess of a film. Although making this video, it made me yearn for a better Slenderman movie, where Slenderman can be a physical threat and an integral part of the story. And I didn't mention if this broke the law of Slenderman, because honestly, I don't care. To me, Slenderman is a yearning of threat, kidnapping of his victims. But where's my proxies? I want my husband mask in the big screen. In conclusion, don't watch this. Even for a joke, you will suffer. Nothing happens. Slenderman is barely in enough of the film to call this a Slenderman movie. So, unless you want to watch watch a bunch of teenagers recap the same thing over and over again, then give this a hard pass. Actually, there is one thing I can recommend Slenderman for. Sleeping aid. Just have that in your stores, Umbrella. Spoilers for the next videos if I haven't mentioned it a million times in community posts. Now, I'm gonna leave and go watch a good horror movie. Your alien looks pretty good. Bye. Oh, what the fuck?
That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
I love Resident Evil. I love everything. The gameplay, the characters, how astonishingly stupid the story can get at times.
Complete global saturation.
Like, the oldest video on my channel that you can watch is a playthrough of Resident Evil 2, which...
Wait, what? You were meant to do the thing?
is a video that I made. That and my first video essay that I was gonna do was this video. However, I scrapped it because I didn't think it was good enough. So I want to have a good video on this series because Resident Evil means a lot to me. Being my favourite series of all time. Not game, that's Silent Hill 3, but I don't think I'm good enough at writing to do that series justice. Yet. And personally, I want to cover Resident Evil 996 so that I can, 1, show the colossal impact that this game has had on the horror genre with its self-proclaimed survival horror gameplay. 2, so I can hopefully cover the other games in the series in the future. And
it's me, Chris.
Is that you, Rebecca?
Other reasons. I'm gonna try and keep this intro brief because you have no idea how much I want to gush about the funny zombie game. Now, I could go over the development history of RE games, but I feel like it's been done to death. So, if you don't know, then I recommend either Sphere Hunters or Witch Hunters retrospectives on this game. But after you watch this video, please, sit back, relax, grab your Jill sandwiches, and please enjoy whatever this is. Beginning the game, you're given the choice between playing Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine. Word of advice, play Jill for your first playthrough. I will explain why in the second half, but please, just play Jill. Oh, and before I begin to regurgitate this game into your mouth, because I'm a pyrocynical clone.
Play something up. Hey, my favorite pretty boy, Femtwink.
If you don't want spoilers, then here's a door. Go on, I'm waiting. Just don't watch this entire fucking video. It's July 1998. The group, STARS, standing for Special Tactics and Rescue Squad of the Raccoon City Police Department, are investigating a strange cannibal murders that have been occurring in the nearby Arkley Mountains, which is either some kind of monster or me on the average Monday. However, exploring a bit, our characters are attacked by zombie dogs, where I just want to pause and say that whatever way they practically made this dog look so awesome. Also, oh no, this guy died. Everyone press F for Joseph's last name. Then helicopter pilot Brad Vickers flies off.
Wow, what an asshole.
And now running for their lives, the only escape is a mansion situated in the mountains. And I adore this intro. So much happens, and I personally love the live action cinematic that this game has. And I kind of wish there were more games in the series that used these. Like, the RE3 remake had one, and that's one of the few positives I have for that game. Now, if you think this intro is camp, oh, you've seen nothing yet.
Chris Redfield. Jill Valentine. Barry Burton. Rebecca Chambers. Albert Wesker. Resident Evil.
They have entered the mansion, where they thought they were safe. Yet, it is now just us, Captain Albert Wesker, and Barry Burton. Although our partner Chris Redfield is nowhere to be seen, with us and Barry being the only ones to try and find him. replaying this room, we stumble across a zombie. And he's eating our buddy Kenneth from the Bravo team. He's sadly now only a shadow of his former self. Okay, so I'm going to explain how zombies work in Resident Evil. They bite. They take a lot of bullets to go down, but they sometimes play dead so they can bite your ankles because they have a foot fetish. And although they may seem slow and dumb, they can easily drain your ammo if you decide to kill all of them. So don't. You fucking idiot. Although, if you try and run past, then you can pretty easily get bit if you're not careful enough. And that's where a lot of the fun of Resident Evil comes from for me, as you have to decide on what the best course of action is to deal with our enemies, while clutching whatever resources we have. Although, I want to put this out here now, I will say this game is pretty hard, although I kinda didn't die in either of my 2 playthroughs. Look, the game is really hard. I just have such little of a life that I replay these games a ton. Anyway, we run back to Daddy Barry where he takes care of it.
What is it?
Where we should probably go tell Wesker about this. But oh no, he's not here. So the best course of action is to explore the rest of this mansion in hopes of maybe finding him. But before we go, Barry hands us a lockpick, which opens shit like drawers for extra ammo. Because we are
The master of unlocking.
Whilst beginning to explore this mansion, we begin to enter the corridor where... And I agree, dogs are terrifying. Look at this, I'm pissing myself. Now, this game isn't scary, but as someone who's played the remake first, where this jump scare is delayed, I was a little spooked. Now, we can't really take these things out yet, as we don't have much in terms of defense. So let's talk about our terms of defense. The knife is fucking trash. Yes, it is an unlimited resource, but it does incredibly little damage. So you have to get so close to an enemy, you're more or less kissing it.
Boy Kissers Central.
Also, this footage is the only time I killed a zombie with a knife, and the pistol is your workhorse. The damage, once again, not great, but ammo is incredibly generous, and you can use it as a pretty decent enough range to avoid becoming a Jill steak. In the following corridor, we come across... Although ammo is a lot more rare than for the pistol, so the best course of action will be to save it for tougher encounters. Counter argument. However, taking this thing causes a trap to fall, which is super spooky. Now, if you went this way, then Barry will save you and spout one of my favourite memes ever.
You were almost a Jill sandwich.
Hello and welcome to Cooking with Grebbz. The thing no one asked for, but we're doing it because of dead memes. First things first, bread. We're making a peanut butter and Jill sandwich because dead meat. Spreading's hard, shut up. Look at that. And then next, the world's crustiest image of Jill Valentine. And now we have the finished product. Yay. No, it's not. Shut up. But, and also no, I didn't put it in because I'm not wasting peanut butter. I don't know what the fuck this bit is, but whatever. Now, yes, the voice acting and the dialogue is god-awful. One, because the dialogue was probably written in Japanese first before being translated to English. Two, Capcom found their voice actors by just looking for random people on the street who just so happen to speak English. But it's just so bad that almost all sense of potential horror is quite literally lost in translation. But because I'm hilarious, I'll do what I did last time and just make a compilation of all the funny dialogue.
Stop it! Don't open that door!
Hope this is not Chris's blood. I have this.
Oh, Jill, this house is dangerous. There are terrible demons. Ouch!
My poisoned. Give me the serum.
Whoa! What is it?
What? Oh! Oh no!
Wesker, you're pitiful.
Moving along, we find one of my favourite staples in survival horror, the safe room. This is such a genuine breath of fresh air, usually coming across with a really nice piece of music that you can definitely sleep to, as well as a typewriter that you can save your game. Go ahead, save, they're limitless. As well as an iron box, which you can put whatever garbage you want in, and will be magically connected to the future ones you stumble across later. This is a feature that has been in almost every future Resident Evil game, and I love these. But you know what? I'm gonna rank every Resident Evil safe room thing while I do this series. This is beat it. It's really good, it's just future games did it way better. Oh, and you can also find some Earth. It's used to kill this plant to get a key, you piece of shit. On our way there, we find a botany book, which basically explains how this game's healing items work. Essentially, green herbs are shit on their own and heal Dick Diddley. Red herbs do nothing, but when combined with a green herb, they heal fully. And healing sprays heal you fully without the stress of combining decent herbs. Essentially, they're for parties with skill issues. Also, Forrest was pecked to death by crows, which doesn't even do much damage. But grenade launcher, my favorite weapon. I just like blowing things up. Sue me. Although this is easily one of the best weapons in the game, does a fuck ton of damage, and arrows as well as shotgun shells. Now, after we kill the plant, I will call Peter on you, you bastard.
What the fuck is this?
A nearby room has easily one of the most iconic notes in the series, and not because it's
Jill Sandwich.
May 9th, 1998. A night we played poker with Scott the Guard, Elias, and Steve the Researcher. Steve was very lucky, but I think he was cheating. What a scumbag. May 10th, 1998. Today, a high-ranking researcher asked me to take care of a new monster. It looks like a gorilla without any skin. They told me to feed him live food. When I threw in a pig, they were playing with it, tearing the pig's legs and pulling out the guts before they actually ate it. May 11th, 1998. Around 5 o'clock this morning, Scott came in and woke me up suddenly. He was wearing a protective suit that looks like a spacesuit. He told me to put one on as well. I heard there was an accident in the basement lab. It's no wonder those researchers never rest, even at night. May 12th, 1998. I've been wearing this annoying spacesuit since yesterday. My skin grows musty and feels very itchy. By way of revenge, I didn't feed those dogs today. Now I feel better. May 13th, 1998. Went to the medical room because my back is all swollen and feels itchy. They put a big bandage on my back and the doctor told me I didn't need to wear the spacesuit anymore. Guess I can sleep well tonight. May 14th, 1998. When I woke up this morning, I found another blister on my foot. It was annoying and ended up dragging my foot as I went to the dog's pen. They have been quiet since morning, which is very unusual. I've found that some of them had escaped. I'll be in real trouble if the higher-ups find out. May 15th, 1998. Even though I didn't feel well, I decided to see Nancy. It's my first day off in a long while, but I was stopped by the guard on the way out. They say the company has ordered that no one leaves the grounds. I can't even make a phone call. What kind of sick joke is this? May 16th, 1998. I heard a researcher who tried to escape from this mansion was shot last night. My entire body is burning and feels itchy at night. When I was scratching, the swelling on my arms, a lump of rotten flesh dropped off. What the hell is happening to me? May 19, 1998. Fever gone, but itchy. Hungry and eat doggy food. Itchy, itchy. Scott came. Ugly face so killed him. Tasty. 4. Itchy. Tasty. Playing a sheet of music of Moonlight Sonata opens a nearby door, which has a crest, which is switched out by another one, which then putting this new one in where the old one was finds us another key, which we can use later. Earlier, we found a pillow which we pushed off because we hate modern art, including a gem which we can use to fit into a statue of a lion, giving us a crest of a moon. Let's find the rest of these. There's one in the room with some knives which we used to block poison gas killing us. There's a lot of these pushing puzzles, then they're not good. Pressing the switch gives us a crest of a sun. The third is my favourite puzzle of the game, where we find a room with paintings, the final one being of people mourning the dead, the others being of a man in different stages of his life, the solution being the chronological order of his life. Okay, it's not the most complicated thing ever, but it went over my head when I first played it, shut up. Finishing the puzzle, we receive the crest of a star. But the final quest has the most to do. Unlocking yet another room. Resident Evil has a lot of locked doors. And we find this.
Richard! What happened?
Oh, Jill, this house is dangerous. There are terrible demons. Ouch!
You're wounded. What kind of demon attacked you?
It was a huge snake. And also poisonous.
Poisonous? Richard, hold on.
There is serum. Oh no, I should have brought some with me.
No problem. I'll go and get it.
Thanks.
Best voice acting ever. Anyway, we find the antidote for him, only for...
Here's the serum. Richard, hold on. I'll give you a shot now.
Jill, here's my radio. You should keep it.
No! Richard!
Yeah, he gives us a radio, which we can use for help. Oh no, a big snake. This is the first boss fight, and I don't like it. It's really easy for the snake to wrap you up and deal unfair damage. But fighting this will get you poisoned, which is filled with a third herb I neglected to tell you, the blue herb. It's fine, Big Barry saves us. Anyway, now we can leave using all our new crests on the big door. But oh no, a segue into another enemy description. The third dog is called the Cerberus, based on the Greek mythological three-headed dog which guards the underworld. And now these things are fast, dealing massive damage, and for some reason they are way weaker to the dinky little pistol than a shotgun. Opening the door, we unlock the garden and getting called by Pilot Brad, hoping that anyone can respond.
This is Brad. Stars Alpha Team. Please respond. What the hell? Is nobody out there?
Shut up, bitch, you literally flew off, you coward. But moving forwards to our next location, the guardhouse. And now, not much happens here, so speedrun! We push this gargoyle little guy so that we don't get grabbed by a certain thing. We find massive fucking spiders, which are pure nightmare fuel. I won't go over them though, they're really not in the game that much. And moving a bookshelf finds us an underground lab. Oh my god, it's the IKEA shark! Once again, their name is based off Greek mythology. This time the Neptune is the god of the ocean. Seriously, unless it's your first day on Earth, you know what Neptune is.
Nice.
But these things instantly die when you drain the water.
I'm dying. Help me.
And this gives us a key, which unlocks the door for the second boss fight. This is what you get for not touching grass. But we can make this easier. Math. You do year 2 maths. Yay! Also, this fight isn't the worst. Anyway, we kill and oh look, it's Wesker. He does the same. Ooh, we need to get out. Find a way out, Jill. Anyway, he apparently disappeared because of all the monsters. Although I just want to say, even if you know nothing about this guy, you can tell he's evil from a mile away. Like, he's wearing sunglasses inside. That's the most evil thing you can wear. I want to say I can't take his voice actor seriously. At least compared to him in Resident Evil 5, where he's like, 7 minutes is all I can stand to play with you. Complete global saturation.
Good night, you bitch.
But here I just cannot take him seriously.
Don't open that.
Now, to get into the next area, we need a battery to operate the elevator, so we can pull a crank in it which stops the waterfall. But how do we do this? It's time to go back to the mansion. But oh no, a little gentleman politely opening the door wants to say hello. These are called hunters, a little deviant furry who can jump, making them super hard to hit, as well as do massive damage, and also a chance to kill you in one hit. But they also die to one grenade round, so... We also fight Yon again, same fight, so just cut to the death. But as we looked at the hole, our buddy Barry finds us again, giving us a rope to climb down, only for the rope to fall. We should wait for an entire minute for Barry to get a new rope. And now the best song in gaming plays. I'm just kidding, the main one's actually pretty good. Once we go up to the highest floor, we find a really important bit of lore. Raccoon Times, May 27th, 1998. Animal attack, woman mutilated. May 20th, around 10 PM, a 20-year-old young woman's body was found by a passerby on the left bank of Marble River in the cider district of Raccoon City. Raccoon police assume it to be a grizzly or other animal's doing because there are teeth marks along her mutilated arms and left foot that show considerable power. Since she was wearing a hiking boot on her remaining foot, it has been determined that she was attacked in the Arklay Mountains and fell into the river. They are hurrying to identify this woman. Raccoon Weekly, June 16th, 1998. Monsters in Arklay Mountains? Some people claim that they've seen monsters in the Arklay Mountains. The monsters are supposedly about the same size as a large dog and usually run in a pack, as wolves do. This may sound like a group of ordinary wild dogs, but these monsters are surprisingly fierce and hard to hurt. They say these dogs won't bother you unless you wake them. So, you smart readers should stay out of the Arklay Mountains for the time being. But if you're looking for an adventure, check it out. You wanna try? Raccoon Times, July 9th, 1998. Mystery in Arklay Mountains. Mountain road blocked. Due to successive disasters in the Arklay Mountains, the city authorities have decided to block the road leading to the foothills. At the same time, Raccoon police intend to begin the search for the lost people with the help of STAR's team. They expect a great difficulty because of the vast size of the Arklay Mountains and the primeval forest that covers most areas. Also, people are reporting sightings of grotesque monsters in the mountains. So, whoever lives in this mountain knows that we're here. Further on, we find a floppy disk. I will explain what these do when it's relevant, but these are integral to getting the best ending. We find the other gem, which gives us the Magnum, the best weapon in the game. It does the most damage, just ammo is incredibly rare. Now, it's time for the next level. This is the caves, and ignoring the walls which look like literal shit, this is one of the most important areas in the story. You see, Jill and Barry find yet another STARS officer, Enrico.
The stars are doomed. Someone is a traitor. Everything was plotted from the start by Umbrella.
You know, I wonder who the traitor is. I fucking wonder.
Let me smash.
Other than that, the caves are pretty mid. We get a boss fight against the Spider Queen, which is a way to remind you that the knife exists. And way too many hunters. Plus an extra floppy disk. Remember these, fucker, you want to get that good ending, don't ya? As well as an Excel here. But holes, which is where in the cave we find a coin of a wolf. You know, if you were thorough enough in the mansion, you would have found a coin of an eagle. And inserting these in our holes, we unlock a fourth and final area of the game. The lab, which will explain what has been making these monsters. Umbrella, which it isn't explained in the game, but it's a pharmaceutical company in the Resident Evil universe with a large place in Raccoon City, which is where STARS is from if you forgot about it. Now, to unlock some important progression rooms, we need to input our username and password, with the only other good puzzle that this game has. We have a picture of Adam and Eve with some funky symbols and a switch to make these words. And then we compare this to a given password to make a password mole. Also, the first two are John and Ada, just saying. Now, the latter is a pretty important character in the next game. Maybe. I am actually not sure if this is her or just someone with the same name. Resident Evil scholars, please help me, because I cannot be asked to do some basic research. Anyway, we now have the first floor and the second floor rooms unlocked. In the first room, we can find a disc reader, which inputting one of the discs in gives us password to the Bible verse. But here we can use the projector with a slide we found in the same room as the terminal. This contains files for the monsters we've been seeing, as well as a new one. Tyrant. Oh, and men. One of them being Wesker. Shock horror, Albert Wesker is the villain of Resident Evil, where we can take an elevator to confront him. But first, we need to find the rest of those passwords, okay? Yay! One's in this room unlocked by doing a poshing puzzle, which took me an embarrassing amount of time to finish. And the other is in a generator room with yet another monster, the Chimera. And although they're only in this room, they are really creepy as they climb from the ceiling. Anyway, we power the elevator and hi bye. Okay, it's 8 PM and summarizing this is too much effort, so...
Wesker?
You did a fine job, Barry.
Just as I thought.
I think you should stay away from Barry, Jill. I hear that his wife and 2 daughters will be in danger if he doesn't do everything I tell him to.
You are so cruel.
Well, you don't have to worry about anything, because you'll be free from this world very soon, Jill.
Why do you have to destroy STARS?
That's Umbrella's intention. This laboratory has been engaging in dangerous experiments, and recently an accident has occurred. Anyway, this disaster cannot be made public.
That's why having STARS nosing about is so inconvenient. So you're a slave of Umbrella now, along with these virus monsters.
I think you misunderstand me, Jill. To me, the monsters you mention mean nothing. I'm going to burn all of them together.
Barry!
I can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
You're a brave girl. But if I were you, I wouldn't give up such a big discovery. You guys are idiots. No one understands its real value.
So, you're going to steal all the research?
Better yet, I'm going to show you the tyrant.
So Wesker's dead, and we can easily just leave with no effort. But because we need a final boss, Barry's like, so that tyrant sounds pretty sick. Wanna go have a look?
I'm gonna beat all your asses!
So it's final boss time. And although it's not as iconic as the future tyrants, this one looks sick as fuck. With its beating heart outside of its chest. I bet this fight is gonna be super hard.
What the hell is that?
Okay, I never got why this thing is so weak. Like, why does it have such little health? Especially since you've most likely have a lot of magnum rounds saved by now. Whatever. Anyway, Wesker somehow survived and is now turned on the triggering system, which does allow us to unlock this door and see what's inside. Oh, hi, Chris. Okay, me and the boys are ready to leave. Brad calls us one more time, and it's our last chance to get his attention, or we're stranded and we'll probably explode. We use some flares and Tyrant's back, and he's like, nah. And we're like, uh-huh.
Alright.
And now we can finally leave. And, oh, fuck off, Chris. How come you've got the spotlight? You literally did nothing and I did all the work. And that's Resident Evil. One of the cheesiest games ever, and I adore it. Is the story amazing? God, no. Even with some of the interesting moments, like the itchy tasty bit, or being the first media ever to have zombies coming from a virus. But it's incredibly dumb. Pretty generic and predictable, and the voice acting does not help. But it's why I love it. It's like playing a shitty horror movie that you know is complete garbage, but you love it anyway. But what I love more is the gameplay. Exploring a massive mansion with limited ammo and health, which I have to consider using against enemies to potentially make backtracking to solve puzzles and figure out what items fit, is incredibly addicting. And then I can use this knowledge in repeat playthroughs and things like speedruns, especially when beating the game grants you a screen telling you of how little of a life you have. I blame this franchise for making me adore this genre. However, look at the time, we've got more to cover, because remember how I said we get to choose between Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine? It's time for Chris's playthrough. Although thankfully the puzzles and shit is mostly the same, so this will hopefully be shorter. So, if Jill's campaign is tough, then Chris's campaign is spitting on you, calling you a loser, and then stealing your dog. So, we only have 6 inventory slots, so you're gonna be retreating back to the item box way more. You don't get the handgun to begin with, so you gotta kill this zombie with a knife. Saving now requires ribbons, and so saving is limited. I'm sorry, save scummers. We don't get my baby the grenade launcher, and Daddy Barry isn't our bro. So the shotgun is gotten way later, but it's swapping the good shotgun with the broken one. And worst off, Chris unfortunately can't read. But at least we have more health. We'll be good if I had enough space for a herb. No, basically the reason I said to play Jill instead for your first playthrough is that this is genuinely very difficult, and I can't fucking imagine playing this without any knowledge of the series. But for some reason, the game presents you with Chris first, and if you don't play the girl characters normally, like, well, me, you're more likely to play Chris. I don't know, it would have been safer just to present the easier playthrough for newcomers. I'm honestly surprised this was as quick as it was, but it's time to talk about the story. And don't worry, it will be short this time. So, beginning of the game, Barry is now missing. Now it's just us, Jill and Wesker. But because Chris is the main character now, we get to look instead. Zombie. Anyway, we move back after getting bit 3 times. But oh no, where did Wesker and Jill go? So the story is pretty similar at this point, apart from that we don't have a lockpick. So we gotta use a newfound sword key, which you find with Chris's companion.
Whoa! What is it?
What? Oh no!
What the Sigma?
Also, she's from Star's Bravo team, so she's a bit of a rookie. But because Chris isn't the smartest, we do actually need her for a couple of puzzles like the music one.
Wait, what is that?
But the saddest part of Chris's campaign is that Richard's dead. But before I skip a massive chunk of the game, because seriously, the game's campaigns are very similar apart from the challenge difference, I want to share some lore of Wesker, but I think the foreshadowing here is actually pretty good. My dearest Elmer, the fact that you have received this letter is both a joy and a sadness for me. I could not even talk to you because of that guy in the sunglasses. Elmer, be calm and read this. I think I've told you that I moved to the pharmaceutical company's lab. They headhunted me. Last month there was an accident in the lab and the virus we were studying escaped. All my colleagues who were infected by the virus are dead. To be accurate, they've become living dead. They still wander around. Some of them are knocking on my room door desperately right now. But there's no sign of intelligence in their eyes. That cursed virus takes away all humanity from the human brain. Love, joy, sorrow, fear, humor, eternally. And Elmer, even the memories of the days I spent with you. And why I'm sharing this now is that in Jill's campaign, this page is torn, and the rest is just crying about becoming a zombie. Seriously, it's no big deal. I'm an emo who wants to be a big titty vampire girl. I should probably apologize for the people who have clicked on this video to find out I'm not a PNG. It's pretty decent, and I'm trying my hardest not to ban this shit out. Alright, let's fast forward to something actually relevant. Now after we fight Plant 42, we make our way back to the house and hear Rebecca screaming halfway across the house. But yeah, Rebecca is getting attacked by a hunter. Okay, let's get to the cave section. Yay! The caves are great because Chris, remember them boulders? Yeah, sorry, I know I'm lying so I can spew a dead meme. Okay, you know what time it is. So, confronting Wesker with Rebecca alongside, he then drags us to meet Tyrant with, unironically, one of my favourite moments of the game.
Stop it.
Wesker, you're pitiful.
I just feel bad. He sounds like he's about to burst into tears because he's getting laughed at. Anyway, Wesker gets by the Tyrant, and now we can go finish it off in an equally piss-easy fight. Find Jill where Chris was in last time, where we escaped with the timer because Rebecca decided to blow up all evidence of Bella being evil. Seriously, what the fuck? Like, save it and then use it to snitch on them.
You ruined my liars. I did not!
We then fight Tyrant and the exact same and finish the game with the equally cheesy Red Dwarf sounding credits theme. Okay, I know I bashed this for being extremely similar to Jill's game, and to be honest, I'm really not sure how I feel, because I wish the story was a lot more different, but on the other hand, the difficulty increase makes it stand out much more. So, with Jill, I like to play for a speedrun and Chris for a challenge. I'm sorry, Chris Redfield's fans, I did this campaign a little dirty. Also, stairs are gross. Now, being in the game, we are given a couple of items. An infinite ammo weapon, which is different for each character. I jest, of course, they're both reskins. Jill has SMG, Chris has assault rifle. We also have a key to a secret room, which gives us new costumes. For Jill, I like this one. Like, I would probably wear this in real life if I had the body to pull off a crop top. And for Chris, I like this one, because the other one has beige trousers, which are the worst trousers anyone could wear. Final thoughts. I like Resident Evil. It's fun. Is it my favourite in the series? Fuck no, I prefer the remake. But is it fun? Hell yeah. There's something really addicting to the gameplay loop of trying to hold on to as many resources as possible, as well as like having a timer which is practically begging for you to speedrun and show how little of a life you have by getting under a certain time. But the game isn't scary. Like, the voice acting is so bad I can't possibly take it seriously. But you know what is scary? The fact I haven't mentioned Markiplier once in this video.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier.
Fuck was that? Hello, this is an unscripted thing. I haven't done these in ages, so if this is god awful, there's your excuse. Before I do the whole, oh, thank you for the subscribers, oh my god, I'm doing a Q&A, because I don't know, what the fuck, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Do you think I know what I'm doing? I don't know what I'm doing. So, I've only got 2 at the minute, because let's be real, it's a small YouTube channel, oh my god. So, we have our first one. It's from Eternal Sleepy Boy Vibes. By the way, I love that. That's amazing. And it's, what's your favourite monster in fiction? And also, when are you going to let us out? Now, for the first question... that's kind of hard, I'm not going to lie. Because it's kind of flip-flopped between, like, my obsessions. So, I'd say my first, like, big scary monster was as a kid. I had, like, a huge Doctor Who phase. I mean, I'm British, of course I like Doctor Who. And for that, I'd say probably the Weeping Angels. Like, I mean, come on, like, they're just cool. And then, moving on to when I was, like, a little bit older, I had the FNAF phase. And my favourite monster was Springtrap, because, you know, William Afton, I always come. And then, nowadays, I'd say definitely Nemesis from Resident Evil, because, you know, I love Resident Evil. Yeah, those two monsters. Could I explain more about them? Yes, but also I'm tired, I'm not gonna lie. And another one is from Zuchinen, I don't know if I pronounced that right, I'm so sorry. Who also, they do other YouTube stuff, and they're very nice. Hi. And they say, what's with the whole season structure? Is it like a way to plan out videos or just something cool? And the answer to that is both. At first, it was just a cool thing. Like, it was so I could get this stuff away from, like, the shitty gameplay stuff it is back then. But now, I actually have got plans. And I'm not going to spoil them because I'm really kind of excited for you guys to see it without spoiling. And that's the Q&A. Oh my god, guys, clap. This is now where I say thank you. Last time I did this, we were at 30 subscribers. We're nearing 150, which is fucking madness. Why? I'm kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, I think this has given me more motivation to do YouTube stuff. And I am planning to do more YouTube stuff, don't worry. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see how I improve. Obviously I'm learning more stuff as I go, and I really hope I don't know. Thank you guys. I don't know what to say. It's kind of real. Like, I've seen the odds of people having the videos blow up, and the fact that my video blew up is bizarre to me. It's just madness. Thank you all so much. I cannot thank you guys enough. It's because everyone my age has probably had the whole like, oh, I want to be a YouTuber when I grow up. And I always had that phase, you know. I wanted to be like the new Markiplier or Jacksepticeye or whatever, and now I'm the next, I don't know, I get to do this shit, and it's fun. I love scripting the stuff, I love doing character stills, I love editing, I love everything, it's fun. I obviously don't get paid for this shit, it's a hobby first, but I'm glad. So thank you all. Sorry this is like the most bizarre way to finish a thing like this, but yeah. Next year will be Grebbz season 2 or whatever, and I have plans. I have plans to make this like different. I don't know if it's going to be necessarily better, but I hope you guys enjoy it. Also, so yeah, I can't come up with a way to end this. I'm playing the game. I'm going to play the game I want to cover, not next week, but the week after, because like I said, I'm still having a kind of a break. I don't know what this fucking thing is. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.